And we're back. Welcome back to the For Against podcast right here on Nick Hall Comedy. I'm Nick Hall. Right over there. That's, what's your name?
Josh Griffey. See, I was waiting. I was going to build up the anticipation.
Yeah, well, I was letting you take, Okay, off to a good start. Going to be a big week. Already was a big week.
Yeah, strong, snappy, good.
It is a big week. Hey, if you're listening anywhere you get your podcast, if you can give us a rating or review, we appreciate it. But more importantly, just jam those like buttons. Tell your friends about it. Tell your mom. We talk about poop a lot. She'll like that, without question. And show some, do what you got to do. And also, if you want some sweet Coach Kent Murphy gear, like one of these Never Button hats, pop on over to CoachKentMurphy.com/shop.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Also, guys, there is some exciting new Kent Murphy merchandise. I believe it's dropping Monday.
That's the plan, on the cusp.
Yeah, with our new video. Ideally, all of that dropping Monday on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere else, Instagram. But I think this new merch might be the hottest fire we've ever dropped.
It's hot fire.
As long as we don't get in, a lot of trouble.
I spit hot fire.
Yeah, there's a certain segment of the world that every time you do anything, they're not going to be thrilled with you.
You know what the best 5 rappers are? Dylon, Dylon, Dylon.
And Coach Kent Murphy. He's
Coach. Yeah, we should do a Kent Murphy rap.
I mean, we just have to learn how to
be
rap.
Like the
and
Super Bowl shuffle, but it'd just be like, we're not here to feathers ruffle. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle. That's a real line from that song.
Yeah.
We're not here to feathers ruffle. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle. I'll look it up.
You call it the hunk of metal honey or something?
Yeah.
Get like a TikTok dance, you know what I
mean? Yeah, we can do like a WAP.
Yeah.
WAP.
Ooh, the hunk of metal hump.
Yeah.
So it gets a lot of gyrations in there too.
You got that wet ass metal.
I cannot reinstate again how excited I've been for a WAP and just the glorious amount of content it's created.
It's so good. I love it.
God bless those.
I'll say it right now. I'm for WAP.
Yeah, 1,000%.
For it.
Yeah, the amount of times I slide it into casual conversation now. I watched a movie, right? The Pale Door for my movie podcast, Film Alchemist, and I got to drop a cap.
Yeah.
Crispy ass pussy. Because there was an afterburn at the steak fire.
You were going to lie. You were capping.
No, that's another kid's term.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? But yeah, so we've been developing all these different words for P, for AP. So, just doing that thing.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, so what do we got today?
Okay.
Besides the sneezies.
I got some allergies going on today. But, we're good. We're good. That's good for the pod, really.
They love it.
We'll mute it.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to promote my other podcast real quick to get to this, to the point that I'm making. The Kent Murphy podcast, which is on Momentum's channels. It's been awesome. We've interviewed a ton of Major League Baseball players. So, pop over there and check that out. But so I've interviewed Kent's interviewed a bunch of pitchers on this pod. And one of the questions I ask all of them is if they have a strikeout celebration. So basically, like the point of it being, every time these batters hit a fucking dinger, they're pimping that shit. They're watching it. They got a little fucking shimmy going around the bases. I was like, pitchers should have that too.
Yeah.
You strike their bitch asses out. Finger guns. You know what I mean? Clevenger said he was going to drag the water with a 3. You know what I mean? Like the 3 strikes. I was like, dude, I love it. So the other day, this is my for or against, and that Trevor Bauer, first strikeout of the game the other day, drew a line in the sand and then opened a fake beer and chugged the fake beer.
Yes.
So for or against pitchers celebrating strikeouts in the same way that batters celebrate their dingers.
I mean, I would say 1,000% for, right? Because the thing with Bauer
is it a golden 4 again?
No, it's not a golden. But Bauer, I don't understand the theory. Like, what does the line in the sand have to do with the chugging? I don't know.
I don't know.
Manford, meet me in the bar. We're gonna do a shot.
I'm into that too. I'm into players fist fighting the commissioner as well.
Well, because that'd be cool. Because then you'd have to the owners would start voting in tougher and tougher, commissioners until eventually you get a Kimbo Slice type. I'm the motherfucking commissioner, and it's oh yeah, Bauer, you want to talk some shit? Meet me at the mound, and we're gonna fucking do backyard brawls.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That would be dope.
Yeah, man. I think pitching especially. I mean, granted, I would argue that pitchers have almost every advantage now. The strike zone feels too big.
Yeah.
Plus the old white eyes can always give an extra 6 to a foot on every part.
Oh yeah.
Some of these breaking balls that are essentially at your ankles that are strikes. That's so it's I get it. But pitchers have to throw it by you 3 fucking times.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. To your point, the 6 inches off plate. My least favorite thing in baseball are I called that one a strike. It was 6 inches off the plate. But he has been calling it there all day. Yeah, and he's been wrong all day. That's not that's not a good excuse to be oh, well, he's consistent. He's been calling there.
He's been consistent as a robot.
Yeah,
just wrong.
He's been consistently fucking terrible all day, and he should be
fired. It's like a coffee pot. Every day doesn't make coffee.
Yeah.
At least you know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Can we please get an umpire back there that will call strikes as they are?
Well, to me, it's God, the umpires, right?
Way to settle.
It shouldn't be fat guy. I'm a fat guy, right?
Yeah.
When you do the squat, when you make me do catching poses in our videos, it's cutting off the circulation. I can't breathe. If you are that fat, Joe West should never have to be in a bent position, right? He can't breathe. That's going to affect his eyes and oxygen levels.
Yeah.
Bad. If you're over 60, you have worse eyes. Not good.
Yeah.
Right? These weren't former snipers. These were just old fat guys, right? So yeah. So I get it. The pitchers have a lot of advantage, but I mean, for me, it's if I do anything cool on a field, I think you should be able to celebrate that.
Agreed.
Why would you not have celebrations? I've never gotten the, well, don't show me up. It's that's the entire point of sports.
Yeah. I'm also for it. Because, in my opinion, going back to the unwritten rules of baseball, I think the more that kind of shit happens, the more those unwritten rules go out the window.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately a good thing for the sport, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my correct opinion.
Now what?
In my opinion, that is factual.
Right. I mean, let's not kid each other, right? I'm beating around the bush, but I nailed it. All right. So in your every rule written, right? Or we do the hush convention of unwritten rules.
Right.
In your version of the baseball universe, is there a play or thing that is too far to celebrate?
Well, I mean,
because my thing is, once you start allowing celebrations, you can't, in good conscience, tell a man to not, let's say your boy, right? God, what the fuck? I just blanked on his name, right? Fastest dude ever, but can't hit.
Oh, Billy Hamilton.
Right? I was thinking of that movie with the Minnesota Twins where he's the owner of the.
Just start singing Hamilton songs.
Yeah, right. But so that guy, right?
Yeah.
You can't then tell him he can't celebrate waxing his speed on a bunt to get to first.
Well, okay, so
that's an achievement.
Okay, here's the thing.
Small one.
Here's the thing. So I'm for it, obviously, and in fact, beyond that, beyond being for celebrating strikeouts and home runs, I think it should be encouraged by the league office. I think they should be hey, we need more of this. It's exciting. Yeah, it gets people fucking amped up.
Yeah.
To your point,
I didn't see the Reds game, but I saw Trevor Bowers drinking a beer.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Right.
But to your exactly.
That's how it works.
A blog. Then look at that. The MLB made blogs. Look
and
at
then
that.
You're next time that guy pitches, I will probably choose
for the
that game.
sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point, so okay, I don't think if a dude ropes a double, he should be out there being doing the fucking Minecraft dance or anything like that.
But why?
Because you celebrate the top achievement of that specific thing, right? So okay, put it this way in football, when dudes score touchdowns, I'm for and going nuts.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that annoys me in football is when it's a team's down by 30 and they sack a dude and they and he gets up and he's and it's dude, you're down 30 still. Like you can't. You're not celebrating.
You should have used
right
that
now.
renegade dance energy in the
But
first
then
quarter.
again, I'm like, that was a good dance. So I'm still kind of for it.
But for
And
that guy, that's his peak achievement, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
So
an
I'm
edge
still,
rusher, sack is there.
I think you're dumb if you're celebrating when you're up 30, but I'm still there for it. I'm still there to see it. So,
But football's interesting because they also celebrate first downs. They do the drop the ball and they point, and it's like, okay, you got 1/10 of the field.
Yeah.
Right? Like, congrats, I guess.
You had 4 chances to get 10 yards.
A single's 25% there.
Okay, so like a batter, the best thing he can do at that at bat is not move the runners. I know some of you are gonna be like, well, sometimes the best thing you can do is hit behind the runner and move him. That's wrong. Best thing you can do in that at bat is hit a home run. That's the tops. That's the tops. The best thing a pitcher can do. I know some of you are like, well, he could have pitched to contact and gave up a ground ball. No, motherfucker, strike that dude out.
Yes.
Get that motherfucker out.
Oh, I agree with you on
you know
the
what
scale.
I'm saying? So I'm saying celebrate those things. So like for your Billy Hamilton,
yeah,
like that motherfucker ain't hitting a home run. He ain't. I mean, he's barely hitting.
Yeah.
If he happens,
he is literally the size of my 5-year-old.
If he happens to get walked, probably intentionally because he swings at everything.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be a weird scenario where they need to put him on. But then he goes and steals second. Like that's his top achievement. When he gets a second, like he can just fucking.
But for him, that would be like awarding like Adam Dunn for way to clear out the leftover donut box again.
That's a top
you
achievement.
Did exactly what we
that's a top achievement you can do on the bases. You know what I'm saying? If a dude makes a diving catch in the field,
like here's my scenario, right? Someone like Madison Bumgarner's throwing a perfect game in his twilight of his career, right? In Arizona, where like 4 people will be seeing it. Next thing you know, tens of viewers are flooding in to see this historic Arizona.
But like a perfect game for Bumgarner is, 3 guys try to fight him, and then he pretends he wants to fight.
Yeah.
And then his teammates hold him back.
Yeah.
That's his perfect game. He's like, that was a perfect game.
Well,
3 guys didn't take a run at me because I'm too intimidating.
But everyone knew that with Bumgarner. It's built into his cake. That's why he was a rodeo
But I'm
clown.
saying 27 strikeouts to him is not as good as 3 guys trying to fight him in one day.
Madison Bumgarner's side hobby is being a rodeo clown. And those guys jump in a ring with a bull that they don't want to fight but pretend they do so their friends can run away. It's classic Bumgarner
amazing.
on the mound.
It's amazing.
He just does that on the mound. But I'm saying, so right, tens of viewers are pulling in. Now 40 people are watching a Diamondbacks game. And you're like, oh, the heat, the hot heat. I want Billy Hamilton to come up, lay down a bunt. And then Bumgarner's so mad, he starts ripping clothing off. Hamilton gets all the way to 2 and just, whops his ass, right? Whatever.
He wet ass
it,
pussies
right?
him?
Yeah, just spread the lips and spray it. Like I want it to be so vulgar. And because then you're getting into like so many, like the sabermetrics guys are like, I love the play, but weird. The unwritten baseball guys are like, no!
The guy's going through his log, and he's like, I don't
And
see
then,
that
like-
in there, but it looks useful. So.
Yeah, and then teenagers are like, wait, this is a sport? Like, what is happening? Right, so there's so many
He
They're
runs
like,
back.
I like the
he
dance.
runs back. He's like, look, we need high on base guys, and we need WAP guys. I saw it out there. It worked.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The most WAP you'll get per action, right? Home run or strikeout. But honestly, I would even take strikeouts out of the game. You just stand up there until you get a hit. You stand up there until you get a hit. So pitchers have no reason to try to throw around
So you
guys.
just want to play like cricket.
I mean, that's how you speed the fucking game up. Stop.
No
throwing-
way, cricket matches last like 3 days.
No. Because then you tell Clayton Kershaw, there's no value in you throwing your fucking loop-de-loop ball, right?
A curveball.
Yeah. But his is like something. I mean, it's almost like a corkscrew. It's insane, right? It's one of those pitches you see and you're like, how can anyone hit that? Like, it's an unbelievable
and then
thing
the
to
playoffs
watch.
happen and everybody hits it.
Strange. But then you're just like, what if every time you're just like, Kershaw, just fucking throw the heat, right? You get a heater and a changeup, and that's it,
Yeah.
right? And that's all you get. And then the guys go up there and they either hit a dinger or they don't,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then the game's over in like 40 minutes because everyone hits the first pitch. Everyone's celebrating.
Everything but dingers or outs.
Ooh, I wasn't even going there.
I
was
say
just like,
I'm for that.
if guys are just ripping them, right? Like outfielders going to make plays. You're going to turn
daily
two.
home run derbies.
Well, sure.
Mets versus Nationals. Whoever hits more dingers. And the Mets are like, hey, Pete, you're swinging all day today.
You're sounding like a Yankees GM now.
I'm into
but I'm
it.
just like, Just put the ball into fucking play. Like, we've gotten to this point.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm minorly like, don't celebrate strikeouts because they're the worst thing in baseball.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I always told you this. There are words that you combine in English and they become this dark, evil entity, right?
Yeah.
Like when you add blood magic to certain demons or whatever. Like horrible things happen, right? Prison, rape. Two bad words, put them together, worse. Pitchers, duel. Both things that are like on their own pretty cool. You add them together and it's an unwatchable filth thing.
Neither one of those first two things are pretty cool.
Well, no, I agree. I'm saying those are two bad things that become way worse. This is two good things
that become way worse.
Yeah, like I'm for dueling. I'm for pitching. Right? Someone's got to throw the ball.
Well, that was the thing. So, like the other day, local ESPN radio, they did the show from Chucky's Bar. So I went on and talked to, was on the radio for a little bit, but I was talking to JMB. Shout out JMB. But he was like, if you look around, he goes, I think what you've done has been effective because like nobody bunts anymore in baseball. And I was like, yeah, I think I've ridded it of bunting. I go, but now, and then he was like, but now everybody strikes out.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, so maybe like you got to fucking start trying to rid, strikeouts from there. I was like, that's a pretty good idea.
Just shaming strikeouters. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There should just be a whole run of PSAs of Tony Gwynn just like mocking people.
Maybe I've achieved my never bunt, like platform or whatever, like my goal.
Yeah.
And now it's time to move on to the never strike out.
There should just
it doesn't ring as well though.
There should be no striking out. No one wants to sit in a seat to see someone. Wow, look how he threw that ball.
But you got
the difference in my eye vision is so little. What?
Then you don't have pitchers at all.
Yeah, you still have pitchers. Someone's got to throw it.
Yeah, but if you're just like, you have to throw it until they whack one.
All right, so then you just say, hey, we need more Bartolo Colognes in here. You know what I mean? We need entertainment pitchers.
Verlander's like, I can throw 400 pitches. I'll stay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just fucking hum them in there.
All right, so we got to move on from this topic. We're both for it. We're both for excessive celebration
of everything.
Yeah,
even bunting.
I
am for the most.
I'm not. No, fuck
the most
that.
celebration. I want the XFL cheerleaders from the '90s.
I'm against bunt celebrations. Against.
See, I'm open it up.
Hashtag
open the floodgate. Open the floodgate.
All right, what do you got?
All right, so this is a weird one. Hide the kids. It's not about sex again. I promise.
Hide your wife.
I am so sick of anti-smoking commercials. Can we fucking stop already? Like, I saw one this week, right? So I'm watching an NBA game. This thing comes on. It's two little kids eating breakfast, right? And this mom's a nurse. She's like, we're going to go change the baby. Like a single mom setup, right? Like, it's really hard to be me, but I'm a nurse, so I'm a trustworthy character. And she walks out of the room. Her purse is on the counter. The one little boy is just smashing his sugar cereal, so she's not that good of a mom. And the other kid is sitting there like, this looks like a fucking creep, right? Like an owl looking for a mouse. And you're like, what is this? He walks over to her purse, steals the money, and they're like, it's not only drug addicts that can be addicted to blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he steals his mother's hard-earned nursing money and their shitty apartment to go buy a vape and sit alone and vape in sadness. And then, so the next game starts. There's another one. This big fucking transformer monster. I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, we use CGI to show you how scary metal is when it's combined into a monster.
Yeah.
Guess what else puts metal in your body? Cigarettes. And I was like, what? Are you like, and I'll out myself. I've smoked thousands of cigarettes in my life.
Sure.
Not like I'm not like a full-on smoker, but anyways, I was like, I don't have a metal transformer in me. Like, I feel like you're a lying sack of shit now. How do they? It's not fair.
But you love so
it's not fair, and it's picking favorites. It's anti-American.
So what you're for? What are you asking me?
Are you for the fact that they just get to pummel the kids with these fucking horrific images of smoking, and the smokers can't fight back?
Okay, I'll tell you.
You're demonizing a whole class of people.
I'm for anti-smoking commercials.
Why?
Because it's fucking awful. There's one on the radio. On ESPN radio, and I'll get into why I'm for it, but it's like this. It starts off with this fit. You can hear it's like some guy's watching the news. It's like the coronavirus strikes again. He goes, man, this year. He's like, we can't catch a break. He's like, we've been stuck in our houses. He's like, we can't go back to work.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm just trying to make some positive changes. and that's why I'm quitting smoking. And I was like, all that to get, I was like, that was weird. That was weird. But yeah.
Way to make the global pandemic about you, brother. All good.
But yeah, I'm for anti.
Just picture this little Bieber guy like, well, my life's going to be all right.
I've been known to partake in a cig.
Yeah.
Sure. But I don't feel good about it. I know that what I'm doing is fucking stupid.
Thank you. This is my
point. When I do it, I know it's like the worst thing you can intentionally do to your body.
But this is my where I don't understand the logic behind this. One, it's expensive to make commercials.
Yeah.
Use that money for something good in society, right?
Here's the thing. Like helping people stop smoking?
I don't think they're fucking helping anyone.
You don't I bet they are.
We've both been smokers
Why
at
would
times.
They would do it?
Because they're fucking lining their nonprofit pockets. Here's the thing, right? We've both been smokers. I have never once in my life smoked a cigarette and not felt a little bit worse about myself.
Oh, yeah, every time.
I like smoking cigarettes as a social apparatus when I'm drinking, right? I don't really smoke a lot when I'm not drinking. Sometimes I do. I'm a liar. But, I like cigars. I like whatever. I love hookah. It's my Middle Eastern blood, so don't judge me. I like to dance with the fire god, right? That's my thing. I fucking know it's bad for me. I can feel my body being shittier, right?
Right.
I know it's not good for me. I've never also gone to a playground when I'm with my kids and be like, hey, guys, you know what? You should really join me in this Marlboro Light. You know what I mean? Like, I don't throw it at them with an apple juice. So no one is learning anything from those commercials they don't know.
Be sure to eat your veggies or you can't have that cig.
Tobacco leaves are a leaf. Here, don't tell mom.
But I'm for any of
no one's learning anything.
I'm for any of the, like back when we were kids, we had the drug commercials like, don't do drugs. Like, this is your brain.
All right,
this is your brain on drugs.
Sure, and not to out you, did they work on you? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was like, drugs are gross.
Yeah, I thought that. I mean, not as long as a kid as I should have been. I mean, I wasn't an older kid.
I'm still a kid.
But at heart, you're like a Peter Pan type. Yeah. That's your niche.
Peter
Pan.
But
what I'm saying... What I'm saying is...
I don't know if that's a compliment, but I'll take it.
DARE didn't work. It just made people want to smoke drugs more, right? I would argue. You're like, well,
there was actually a study about that.
And feel like I'm like a fucking deflated balloon head.
There was actually a study about that once I saw that like DARE actually created more drug users than it stopped.
Because you were
because it inspired curiosity in the younger kids.
And now you're telling these kids, right?
I'm still for it though.
But this is the thing. Stop. You've lost. This is your first loss on the show.
Because then
you're hanging the L.
Because those kids that got into it had a lot of fun. What? Nuh-uh.
But here, right? So every kid who sees one of those things is like, oh, if I vape, I can add a bad boy edge to my life.
Bad boy.
Because they've seen on the Milwaukee Bucks game that I might have a transformer.
Well, what was more
body.
effective, the anti-vaping one? Which one led to more vapors? Because there was the anti-vaping one that we're talking about, but there was also the pro-vaping one that Steven Dorff was in. I don't know if you remember that, but he was like walking on the beach, and he's like, I'm TV's Steven Dorff, and he's like smoking a jewel.
Sure.
I bet more people started vaping from a commercial that said don't vape than Steven Dorff being like, go ahead and do it, because nobody wanted to be like, I need to be like Steven Dorff.
To be fair, did I once at Venice Beach buy a blue cigarette specifically because Steven Dorff battled Blade? Yes, because he was in Blade, one of my favorite movies. And I was like, well, he seems like he's still like okay looking. He must get laid. I'll see if I look cool like
the
Steven
Dorff man.
So yes, he got one, right? But I'm saying no one learns anything from these fucking commercials. And it's just people that want to sit and judge the fuck out of you.
Do you think if Steven Dorff would have been in the commercial and been like, don't vape, you would be like, I can't now. The Dorff man said no.
Steven Dorff's like, you want to see what years of vaping looks like? Come on.
You want to see?
Come with me. And then every kid's like, back to Fortnite.
I bet his apartment is fucking wild.
It's just empty refill cartridges and like Blade posters.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean though, right? Do something valuable with that money. How much fucking money do you think they spend on anti-smoking shit? Here are some things that I know for a fact. It's never been more profitable to be a tobacco farmer.
Yeah.
They're just selling that to other fucking countries, man. Run your fucking ads in third world countries where they're selling them outside of elementary schools and shit. Like, there's no value in what they're doing. And so all they do...
You think it's inspiring more people to smoke? Like to try it?
I think it's the same people on Twitter that want to cancel and be little bitches all the time. They're just designing a nonprofit to steal money that has no value.
Like the Truth, remember the Truth commercials?
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. That now they're
bust in
transitioning
like
to
these
vape.
fake actor kids, and they'd jump out and be like, "Smoking causes cancer," and they'd have the megaphones and shit, and it's like, "We're social warriors," and it's like, "Oh." Okay.
But that's what I mean. Do you think there's one teenager who's like wearing like a Rob Zombie shirt and Jinkos, and he's smoking a cig, and he sees that little fucking Abercrombie frat boy jump out, and he's like, "Yo, bro, not cool. No one wants to kiss you," and he's like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I smoke." And he just stopped smoking. He's like,
"I'm
"I'm not."
Goth kids still wear Rob Zombie and Jinkos?
That's not goth. That's new metal. That's
new metal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like Bradley Dorff was trying to do in Blade. I was trying to walk
Steven
between
Dorff.
two worlds. What did I say?
Bradley Dorff. Who the freak is that?
I don't know.
Maybe
that's his like brother who didn't
trying to cover up my
That's
swears.
his brother who didn't start smoking and is like his manager, and he's like, "God damn it, Steve."
Has his life together. His kids love him.
I'm just saying these things aren't helping anyone, and it's giving a permission structure. And again, every time I smoke, I feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
When I see other smokers, I'm like, there's a guy who's not loving his life right now, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's cool. Smokers don't think they're cooler because they smoke. We do it because the same reason we fucking drink Monster Energy drinks, eat fucking fast food, don't exercise, watch 8 hours of Netflix, or play 10 hours of a video game is because sometimes you just want to fucking not feel shitty about yourself. And if a cigarette makes you feel like 10% shittier, but you enjoy the routine of smoking, you have a conversation at a bar, the math is on our side. We like it. Guess what? Every day you're fucking dying. Every day you're dying.
That's deep.
The person who's listening to this podcast is like, fucking smoker trash, as he goes and orders 20 McNuggets.
Oh, dude, yeah.
We live in a society where they sell nuggets by the 50 now.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
McDonald's sells a 50-piece nugget.
And do it.
But you're telling me we need to rid the world of the scourge of a cigarette?
Cigarette?
You can have...
Yes.
And again, I'm
Yes.
also the guy who has
I would be
eaten...
for an anti-fucking chicken nugget commercial, too, but I'd be like, still gonna eat them.
No.
Still gonna eat
because
them.
Ronald McDonald's gets to put slides in his fucking business, right?
Yeah.
No gas stations have a play place, so all of a sudden it's not cool. But that's what I'm saying. Have I eaten 50 nuggets at once? Yes. Do I get judged as harshly
I've done 40.
as when I smoke? No.
I did 40 once. That's my record.
My ability to eat so much fast food is just almost terrifying. Like, I do feel ashamed of myself when I do that, too. But that's what I mean. People are already feeling bad. We don't need to pile on them and just line the pockets of these fucking propagandists.
So you're against...
I'm against these commercials.
I'm for anti-smoking commercials. You're against them.
I'm against it. It's a waste.
But you're
the
against
same way,
it.
No companies...
You're against it for a philosophical reason,
Yes.
not like...
Yeah.
Because you don't
I
want
don't
kids
think-
to smoke,
No.
though.
If tomorrow the world had no cigarettes, I would be just fine with
Yeah,
that.
me
like,
too.
it's just gone and no one smoked. Cool, man.
It's probably a
We'll
good
move
idea,
on.
really.
Yeah, I don't think they're good for you. I don't
Yeah.
think whatever. I think everything we do is bad for us. Here's another thing. If I see one more fucking COVID commercial, we're with you. We also think it's hard. Kroger. Stop making those commercials and give the money to your people,
Our new
you
normal.
fuckers. Yeah. It's just hard for all of us. At State Farm, we also have kids at home.
If Fauci came out and said that, like, smoking cigs cured COVID, or, I mean,
Whoa.
not smoking would cure COVID, like, tons of fucking the other side, they just start smoking and be like, he's wrong, I don't believe doctors. You know what I mean?
Fuck you.
Fuck you, doctor.
Look at your fucking
Okay,
libtard
Mr.
glasses.
Scientist.
You can't fool me with your glasses and your tie.
All right,
I know
we've
there's
got-
barbecue sauce in
Okay, we've got our
as I just smoke my way or cough my way through the show.
we got our first we're doing our first user submitted for
Okay.
or against
I'm all for
from
it.
Luke Murphy on YouTube.
Luke Murphy, what up, dog?
Are you for or against flying cars?
I mean, 1,000,000% against.
Yes.
I can't think of anything that I want to exist less in the universe than a flying car.
God, that'd be so much fun though.
Sure.
Like you've seen Fifth Element.
Sure. I love Fifth Element.
Yeah, Bruce
Right?
Bruce Willis and the flying
I mean, it would be
taxi.
better if Steven Dorff was in it, but no. I mean, I like so many. I'm a sci-fi junkie, right? I
Sure.
love technology. I like watching people design new things that we don't need, imagining how they'll lead to the end of society. Flying cars is the easiest one to see where it all goes wrong, right? Because that's just look around, right? In my own neighborhood, we have people fighting all the time about bad driving, bad parking, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine you're just out watering your lawn, playing with your kids. You're like, wow, look at this, the American dream. Next thing you know, boom! Some fucking Karen nosedives because she forgot to get jet fuel.
Yeah.
Takes out your fucking living room. Your dog's dead. Your house is on fire.
I don't know if they'd run on jet fuel.
Well, I don't know what fucking flying. I mean, not corn.
They might.
Yeah.
But see, like,
we're in Indiana. All right, throw some corn stalks in there. Now people are doing corn math.
First of all, I'm for flying cars, but here's
Why?
the thing about flying cars. I'll get into that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about flying cars. Since I was like 6 years old, every year I've said to myself since I was 6 years old, in 20 years we'll have flying cars. And here we are, 30 years later, and I'm still going, 20 years, I bet we have flying cars. I've said the same thing since like 89.
For the record, we're never getting them. They have prototypes of cars that can fly, cars that are submarines.
I always wanted the boat cars, too.
Yeah. See, boat car makes a lot
car
more
where you
sense.
just drive into the amphibious,
Sure.
Yeah.
Because you know what? My house isn't in the middle of a lake. Fucking wreck your cars into the lake.
I'm for them, and here's why. I'm of the thin the herd mentality, and I think that'll help thin the herd. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm probably not going to get one.
That's good legal jujitsu.
I'm not going to get
the know that I am for thinning the herd as well.
I'm not going to get the Tesla X-Wing. I'm just not going to do it. You know what I mean?
Tesla X-Wing? Now you're talking about, that's pretty.
But, like, I know who will. And it's, it's like the same guys that are like, is my truck high enough? I'm going to boost that about 2 more feet, so I have to jump into it. You know what I mean?
The guy who still drives
and then
past
that dude
the
is
movie
inevitably he's gonna wreck the plane car, and then we don't have to deal with him anymore. And I'm for that.
Sure, right? The guy who's like, I'm going to drive past the theater
now,
and see if
does
they're
your house
replaying
have to be
Fast and the
collateral
Furious.
damage? Yeah. Sorry, man.
You are turning every old stupid idiot, right? Because this is the thing. My theory in life is the more you're into cars, right?
Yeah.
The further down that spectrum you get, right? Intelligence, safety, concern for others, right? Like I saw someone driving like a 1900
traffic,
cars
though.
this weekend. Wrong. No. Now there's traffic everywhere, right? You're just shooting bullets and like everyone's like, bullets won't hit on a battlefield. Bullshit. I saw the thing where 2 bullets shot each other, right? That's our life now. You're turning every bad driver who can't figure roundabouts, doesn't know how to do a 4-way stop, doesn't know how to, not text and drive. Imagine texting and driving and flying fucking cars, right?
Yeah.
There is so many reasons. And then what you're doing, right? So now I will look up and I'll be like, oh my God, the dumbs have formed an army. They're like a hornet's nest above my head. And so you'll spend the rest of your life looking up, waiting for Karen to fall on top of you. Right?
Yeah.
Like we're all going to be the witch and Wizard of Oz and someone's just going to dump it on us.
Karen Jetson.
I mean, my theory is they've had the technology for a lot of these things for a long time and they bury them because they know we can't handle it.
Well, yeah, we found the aliens years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we reverse engineered that technology.
Absolutely.
We can fly around.
You think we can design jets that, are perfectly angular to where they can't be detected by invisible radar waves and shit? And we can't propel a vehicle into the sky at a prosumer level? No, that's stupid talk. They know we can't. Look at this.
Stupid talk.
There's a pandemic that's killed 170,000 Americans, right?
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. I'm not trying to get political, right? Okay. We are supposedly the best, most advanced country that has ever existed in the history of the world, right?
Sure.
You ask our citizens, hey, man, stay at home if you don't need to be out. If you go out, wear a mask, stay a little bit apart. Fuck you! Right? And it's like they're grabbing their torches. We're too stupid for masks, so your grandma doesn't die. And you think that we can pilot fucking little missiles around above other people's homes and be held responsible?
Well, let's get. Yeah, I want. Then they'll be gone.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I'm for
you. Will be gone too.
No, I won't.
We'll all be gone.
I'll still be driving my Ford Fusion, being like, "Look at that plane crash."
No, I'm telling you, they will. Yeah, you'll be driving like, "Wow, look at me, a responsible ass driver." Ah! Like when that plane hit on the 405, that'll be every fucking day. Because I lived in LA, and so the lure of like flying car.
Flying over that 405?
But then you're like, now imagine all these cars flying above you like it's a battle from Terminator 2. You're like, no way.
I'm into it.
No.
Yeah,
See, now I'm for self-driving cars, right?
Well, that's even worse, though.
No.
Yeah, because
robots do every single thing better than humans.
No,
eventually.
they don't.
Yes, they do.
And they also malfunction.
So do we every day.
Yeah, but that would just like put this complacency in people where they're like, well, my car's driving itself. I'm going to take a nap and a wank.
Exactly.
And then the car is like, oh, I'm just going to swerve over here real quick.
Dude,
no, man, that's worse than flying cars.
Your case against automated cars is so wrong.
No, it's not. It's right. As are most of my opinions.
Okay, so first off, me smoking cigarettes and on my 48th nugget having a diabetic attack.
Here's the thing about
I'm out amongst you. I live amongst you. I'm here.
I know.
Right? Little old ladies who can't fucking see, but they're like, it's America. I want my license. I need to go to bingo. Woo.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're amongst you already. If you're telling me that with real technology and real money, that these cars that are high information sources, right, are not going to be better drivers than us. Humans are dog shit drivers.
Here's the thing, though.
Terrible drivers.
To smother your point.
Wow, that was aggressive.
You think those planes aren't going to be autopiloted?
Who?
The car planes? Dude, fucking jetliners right now,
Sure.
like commercial jetliners land themselves.
Well, right. My neighbor is a private pilot, and he's like, yeah, you can do all that. Like, you need to go piss or whatever.
So that'd be a self-driving plane car that you don't have to fucking...
But when you add that extra Y variable, right?
I just won that argument.
No, you didn't. When you add the verticality, there's so many extra steps. And the systems that have to run those have to process so much more information. The cost is going to go way up.
We got way too many people on Earth. We got it. We got to start finding ways to get rid of some of them. Flying cars.
Sure, I'm with you.
Is one of those?
That's why I want to pull the cigarette ads.
If you get a flying car, it comes with a carton of cigs.
And 50 nuggets. Just here you go.
I'll take the 50 nugget carton of cig package, you know.
No,
forget about the radio. I want the nugs and the cigs.
Keep your CD player, fancy man. Give me the real American
I'd be
stuff.
so shitty if I got into a flying car and it had a CD player. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
No, because it's retro. It's like why my wife owns a record player.
It's a throwback flying car.
Hey, look at this thing that's way more expensive and way worse than just Spotify.
The salesman goes, that's because we had these in the 80s. We just didn't tell you, peasants.
I'm telling you now, there's going to be a rise again in like cassette tapes. People doing
there's
mixing.
not.
Dude.
Well, yeah, like vinyl. Yeah.
No, my wife buys vinyl because she likes to go to the store and look at the... Like, I get it. I'm a book collector. I could have ebooks. Like, fine. But the people who lie to themselves and they're like, records are really the purest way to listen to music. You're like, that's wrong and dumb.
No, it's not.
Right? Plastic being scratched to
Sound
death
quality's
slowly.
awful. Yeah.
You're literally listening to plastic be tortured.
Yeah.
That's what a record is. It's not as good as having every song ever at my fingertips.
Yeah.
It's just worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
I get that it's your hobby and you like to spend your money and have displays for like friends to know that you like music more than you.
You collect shit too.
That's
like
fine.
I have stuff that I collect.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't sit there and say, well, if you read an ebook, you're a fucking... don't appreciate the words the same. Like, that's just not logical. So, yeah. It's going to happen. Cassettes are coming back.
Yeah, we'll get some good B-sides,
in our flying car.
You can fucking self-rewind them and
that
shit.
was a really good for against, by the way.
Yeah.
Luke, right?
Luke Murphy, no
Luke
relation.
Murphy. That was
no relation to Kent that I know of.
That's the stuff we're looking for.
Yeah.
That's such a good topic.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I won.
I did.
I feel like I'm crushing this show.
Here's how I know my opinions are facts. Here's how I know. Scientific method. Prove me wrong. You can't. You know what I mean? You're not trying to prove things are. You're trying to prove they aren't.
I could take you and like 5 randos from my neighborhood and say, hey, go fly the helicopters around this small football field and we'll see how many
and
of
then
you
those
live.
dummies will fucking crash it down. I'll be like, look, less people. Like I said.
And you just are like,
for
you
it.
pretend to pull the throttle and you don't even.
Flying cars, for flying cars.
Against.
What do you got?
Against.
What are we closing it down with?
All right, so I saw something this week. And I thought it would be interesting, right? So these 2 Canadians, I believe they are coming out now with a company, and their stated mission.
Why they got to be Canadians?
Why, I just read that.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't want you to think it was like our bros. It's their bros, right? Their idea was they created Mankinis now, right?
Yeah.
They kind of look like Andre the Giant's old outfit,
Yeah.
right? So the one over the shoulder, real tight, like bikini cut, man swimsuits, right? And so I went on this dive. I was reading the article, and I was like, wow, like, we're going for it, man. I get targeted all the time for short shorts for big guys, right? Facebook gives me the ad all the time.
A little leg right now.
I mean, yeah, I don't need the fucking Juggalo shorts that are like my mom's capris.
I keep it to the knee.
Yeah, to the knee. That's a good to the knee, right?
Not over the knee, like to the knee.
To the knee.
Yeah.
Top of the kneecap.
Yeah.
I like that too, right?
Yeah.
So, but I get targeted for that. I know that man rompers were a thing that are coming back, right?
Yeah, I had a buddy that wore one and like posted on Facebook, and I was like, bro.
But that's good. Because I went to a wedding this weekend, and it was hot. It was an outside wedding, and I told my wife, I'm like, why can't I just wear shorts? She's like, you can't. Why? It's not fashionable. And I said, I'm not Lady Gaga. I don't want to sweat on my legs. Yeah, I want some breeze in my legs when, we're doing the ceremony. So I wore shorts, and every old guy was like, yeah, went for it, huh? And I'm like, fuck off. Like, fuck you. I went out and got nice dress shorts. I got wedding shorts specifically.
Wedding shorts.
They were so slick looking. The outfit was great, right? And you could just see my fucking beautiful calves.
Beautiful.
And so this is why, is it time to burn down the male fashion rules? For or against men being more wild with their fashions?
I think what you're asking me here, if I'm listening, is really if I'm for or against you wearing shorts to a wedding.
No. Because
that's
never
for
changing.
that I'm against. I'm with Amy on this, and I'm against.
I told my neighbor lady,
But
I haven't worn pants in over a year.
I'm going to be your therapist right now. I know what you're asking me, but here's what you're really asking me,
but this one, I'm asking you. If I showed up, if you're like, hey, pool party.
If you showed
I'm
up
Nick hosting a pool party, and I showed up in my Andre the Giant singlet, right? Because if you call it a singlet, then it's manly and tough. It's for battle.
If you introduced it as a singlet, I'd be like, that's awesome. If you're like, look at my mankini, I'd be like, that's terrible. Take it off.
Would you be a good friend and be like, I'm glad you came. I'm glad you seem to be enjoying yourself. Or would you be a bad friend and use me as fodder for your other buddies to score cheap points?
And you're wearing a singlet, I'd be like, I thought this was a pool party. We're doing backyard wrestling. This is fucking. Hold on, let me go get mine.
I think what you're dodging is that you have to admit you'd be a bad friend and you'd feed me to your lesser friends to try to score points.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm against like the male rompers.
You're against fashion forwardness. What about like
I don't
purses?
think that's fashion forwardness, though. I think that's just
like a lot of men are starting to carry purses that they call other things now.
A satchel.
Why not?
Whatever. If you want to, I don't care. I'm not mad at you for doing it.
But you'll mock them behind their back. You'll ridicule them.
Yeah, of course I will.
But why? This is what I'm saying. Why do we do this to each other? My wife wears sundresses.
Because
I'm like, that looks better
feel
than our
better
clothes.
about myself, Josh.
But
because I can project my inner bullshit onto somebody else.
Yes.
And then it buries a little bit deeper back there, and I don't have to deal with it for a few more days.
Yeah.
Until I see another man in a mankini, and then really I'm just like mad. That I didn't get that girl didn't go out with me in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I'm like holding on to that, but then I see like the mankini, and I just fucking take that and I just fucking whip it at him as hard as I can with vicious rhetoric and awesome insults.
Sure.
And then I unload a little piece of that until eventually I throw enough pieces of it and it's gone, and I move on to the next deep-seated, rooted fucking problem that I have.
That's a well that refills itself.
I'm not saying
this is what I'm saying.
I'm not calling it healthy, but
there's a lane right now, right? Because the guys, we all see that guy, and I think the people that get mad about it secretly are like, I wish I could be that guy. I wish I could be that free.
Not once
right?
when I was looking at that
and
picture.
A lot of times those guys who wear that stuff to the party, they're the guy who's like, I want people to know I'm funny when they see me, because my words can't do that for me.
Right.
So they're the guy who's like, this will be my personality trait, is I show up in the singlet.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not a great way to be either, right? So there's a lane in the middle where we can just be truly free men bonding together in the clothes that we really, truly want to wear, right? Without it being a personality trait.
Do you
without
identify
it being
as a romper guy?
No, God, I'm too big and sweaty. Like the thought of having one piece of clothing with no seams, like I don't identify with the
mine
romper.
would be so full of sweat too. Yeah.
Yeah, that just looks.
You can't lift up the shirt and get a little
Right.
hair.
But my thing is like, what if I could sign? I don't know what ladies' dress sizes are, but like big.
But-
like I need a big ladies like sundress. Like if
Right.
I showed up and I had like this T-shirt on, but instead of these hard, oppressive shorts, I just had like a fucking
Right.
floral pattern sundress.
But here's the thing with those too. The other reason I'm against it.
Okay.
Those are built for one body type, and that body type is chiseled. To wear like the romper or the mankini, like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? And that ain't us.
You think if I went to the website, they're like waist size 40,
And that's the thing.
none in stock.
Well, they would. And then that's the thing is that the guys that aren't chiseled that are like, I'm still gonna look good in this, they're gonna put it on,
Yeah.
and it ain't gonna look good. I don't think the chiseled guys look good in it either, but you know,
Sure.
I mean, it's just me.
But when that's like a fashion.
I don't
person
want to
thing.
wear a dress ever. Like I don't ever. I
Yeah.
just don't. It's just not what I. Don't, if you want to, that's fine.
See,
I don't care. I don't care.
So you're for it because you don't want to wear it personally, but you're not going to cut them up. You're going to be cool with them.
Yeah, I will.
You're going to be a nice friend to them.
Yeah.
So you're for it.
No, I'm still against. I'm against the trend going that way because then I don't want to have to feel the peer pressure on myself to be like, am I gonna have to wear a dress now? Because like it's
My
the thing.
theory is right. I've been
Because like
saying,
back in the day, I wanted
Yeah.
Jinkos because Jinkos were the thing.
Yeah.
Looking back on them, Jinkos are fucking stupid and they look stupid.
Jinkos.
But when I was a kid,
wore
like,
dresses.
I had buddies that wore them, and so I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that. You know what I
But
mean?
that's what I mean. Don't lie to
And that's
yourself.
that peer pressure. And that's why I'm
Jinkos were
against it.
dresses. They were dresses.
Oh, 100%.
They were gigantic,
100%.
terrible, ugly dresses with like a.
And I'm
clown
just
on
using
them.
like dresses as an obscure example, but like I'm against all kinds of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm against it.
I'm telling
Hey,
you, though,
I'm against it.
you have your
I don't know why I'm
fashion
speaking
forward
like
socks
that.
on, right? You got
they're Johnny Bench socks.
You got Johnny Bench socks, right?
Yeah.
But that's a statement.
Yeah, I just need to
You're
do
making
laundry.
this
I
up.
was out of my regular socks, so I had to put my Johnny Bench socks on.
I know the laundry outfit well.
Yeah.
But
So
what
I'm
I'm
wearing my
saying is,
fucking gym shorts.
the way you feel about flying cars, you're like 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with like, finally my body will be emancipated from these prison fabrics that I have to wear. These fucking prisoner fabrics. You know, thank God for Target. They make like the
Maybe
really
it's
nice
just I'm
material
just a
shirts.
jeans and t-shirt guy though. So like I've never, you know what I
See,
mean?
that's
Like
fine.
I'm not a fashion dude.
Well, no, that
I'm
is
not a fashionable.
everything you choose to wear is fashion.
I wear
as I learned
backwards
watching
hats.
Queer Eye with my wife,
I
right?
wear backwards hats. It's like as far as I go.
You can make that work. That's
This
a
is
fashion choice.
That's my thing.
Yeah, that's your thing.
Yeah.
But what if my thing was a romper and a purse? We need to get together to where we would show up to eat wings at B-Dubs, right? And we're just broing it out, and the outfit's never raised other than, you look nice today. Thanks, man. And then when it's time to, like, we're done with our wings, I hand you a wet towelette out of my purse, and you go, wow, that's really handy. And I go, I know. And we just don't mention it past that. We don't cut each other down. We're not taking our brothers down.
If we all got together, like, hey, let's go watch the football game this week, and you showed up in a romper and a purse, there's a 0% chance that any of us are gonna go. That scenario is gonna play out, and we're gonna be like, hey, you look nice. All right, good job, team. And then that's it. That's the end. There's not a chance.
But we have one friend I know would accept me.
But there's
fear of
also
not being a good.
But there's also not a chance. There's also not a chance of that happening in a group of people that like if there were multiple rompers, right? Because one guy would show up or girl
Right.
would show up and they'd be like they'd have this romper on, and even if they were all like hyper woke for it, they would be like, "Oh my God, you look so good in that," and they would like overdo it, and that'd be the only thing they talk. I can't believe you're wearing. You look so good in that romper. I can't believe you're wearing that. You
So
look
they'd
so
become
good.
the fashion
And then it would
equivalent
become
of
this like
potheads to
sore
you.
thumb that's just like throbbing in the middle of the group, which is no better.
But that's the
It's
problem.
no better than us. Like if you showed up and like our group of friends, we'd be like, Josh, his insulin levels must be low. Like we need to get him.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
I think
would
he's
take
crashing.
the savaging.
I think he's crashing.
So I'm just in my mirror and I'm like, damn, I'm looking good today. I feel fresh. I don't have the prison fabric on. I don't have the weight of my phone in my pocket. I don't have to sit on my wallet like
Yeah.
a monster throwing my spine out of alignment.
Yeah.
I just show up feeling good, and I know you guys would cut me down.
I'm against them for the.
And I'm talking about not because everyone has seen like the frat boys who are like, I'm going to wear a mankini for like comedy effect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
Yeah.
about legitimately.
Well, here's
I'm just
the thing.
like, this is good for me.
I'm against it, like the romper in general, because I don't think they look good on women either. And I don't. I think it's
Right.
I think it's like up there. I hate that, and I hate the girls now. They're wearing like the fucking mom jeans. I think that looks like fucking trash too.
Mom jeans is a weird, but
Yeah.
again, that's why cassettes are coming back.
But
so
that-
we're
yeah,
to
that's
vinyl
like
and
the
mom
cycle
jeans.
of-
We're like 10
And
years
that's
away
why I
from
just
cassettes.
fucking wear jeans and a t-shirt, man, because I'm just like, I'm not,
Right.
I'm staying above this.
Sure, you don't need to be in fashion. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is we need to get to a point to where it's not weird.
Yeah.
Right? That I can spill barbecue sauce on my sundress and no one thinks other
that's
than
what
like,
you
what
wanna
a
do.
slob. They're not making
That's
fun
what
of
you
my
wanna
dress.
do.
They're
I'm
making
for it.
fun of my behavior.
I'm for you wanting to do that and feeling comfortable doing that.
If I had the guts,
I'm simply against the fashion side of it. For the simple fact that I just think it looks stupid. I'm for people wearing whatever they want to wear.
Yeah.
I'm against fashion leaning into stupid trends.
I think that's all fashion though.
Yeah, I agree.
Any high fashion.
Like, have you ever seen a runway show?
Yeah.
It's the most ridiculous bullshit that nobody would ever wear in public unless they're
Yeah.
going to like the Met Gala.
Yeah.
And that's just a bunch of fucking assholes rubbing shoulders anyway.
Yeah. Well, it reminded me, my son dropped a popsicle right on the playground, and you pick it up and it's covered in shit. And I was like, oh, that's fashion. Just a lot of color.
Art.
A lot of color and stuff that doesn't belong on a skinny stick.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, that's fashion. That must have been how the first. I dropped a popsicle.
That's up there.
Oh
with,
my
that's
God.
up there. Fashion to me is up there with bullshit art like we did last week.
Sure.
It's bullshit.
I'm not talking about. I don't want to be high fashion,
Yeah.
but
It's
I
some
want to
guy-
get to a point where I
It's
can.
some guy sitting in there and he's like, "What if I cut only one sleeve off of t-shirt?
Yeah.
I could put that on, and it would be in vogue in a week." You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
it's just bullshit. They're just like
Yeah.
just thinking of bullshit ideas, and
Yeah.
they're like, "This is in vogue now."
It's oppressive though, man.
I don't know
like
why
we were out walking our dog. Some guy comes jogging by, and my wife's like, guess he forgot the rest of his shorts. I was like, did you just short
You're like,
short
"Stop
shame
looking at
him?"
his legs, you
Well,
cheater!"
no, I saw his legs. I'm like, he's got nothing on
Look
the
at the
perfect
tree
flex.
trunks
over here.
on that guy.
Yeah, my ham hocks are just fine. Like, if you took my lower half against any other man, I feel good. My upper half just leaves so much to be desired. But my legs are powerful and O'Donnell's
Yeah,
like. But I was just like, why are you shaming that guy? Like, he's out exercising. Why do you have to wear special clothes to exercise?
Yeah.
I don't like all these restrictive rules, man.
Yeah.
Open it up. Let people smoke.
So there we have it.
Let people do whatever except for fly cars.
Let's run it back here. Pitchers celebrating strikeout. Oh, excessive celebrations 4.
4.
What was your first one?
Anti-smoking commercials
4.
against
4. So I went on that because we don't
No.
want to smoke, do we, guys?
because no one's ever been saved by it.
And then we had flying cars. 4.
Against
Got him up 2-0.
crushing it.
And then fashion.
Yeah, letting men be free in their
Against.
fashions. 4.
I'm 3-0. 3-0-1. We tied on 1.
I'm pretty sure the comments are gonna say
Again,
I crushed this
scientific
one.
method. Prove me wrong. You know what I mean? You can't.
The only way is for you guys in the comments to tell Nick that I'm right about everything.
Hey guys, keep leaving suggestions for your for or against. That was a good one today. Thanks, Luke.
We got a
Yeah.
list, guys. We're keeping them, so send them
Make
over.
sure you give us those ratings, reviews. CoachGetMurphy.com/shop for all your gear. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.